Hello.
Oi, hello.
Hello. We are live.
We are live with extra music on.
Yeah, we have the bells chiming from the castle in the background.
Yes.
So nice to be here.
Very
And
nice. Yeah.
our title tonight is Rebooting My Ego.
Ooh, what about that ego?
What about that ego? Don't we know them all? At least our own
Maybe.
ego.
Yeah. And sometimes we don't even know our own ego. We're not aware of our own ego.
Has taken the autopilot with us
Oh,
without even knowing.
Without even knowing or noticing. So
Yeah.
that might be something we can do tonight, perhaps. You never
And
know.
for those of you who join later, feel free to watch the replay. If you want to follow us, there's a button up the right called follow. There you can see.
Click the bottom.
Next time we do
us.
an English crowdcast. We do mostly Danish, but now and then, once a month, we do an English one.
Oh, maybe we should make a crowdcast. How to learn Danish in the fast track.
Yeah, Danish in the fast track. How about that?
Oh.
But what we do is...
And below we have another...
Yeah, we have a green button here
long
down here.
green
So that's the easier way to follow us.
Yeah.
And you can go to our web site and contact us if you feel for coaching or being coached within an area that you feel for. And Helene is...
That's me.
That's you. You are a coach and me as well. So we coach people.
We do.
Young people, older people, all kinds of people.
All kinds of people. No limits.
No limits. And we help people to get more psychological flexible so they get a better life.
Yeah.
And that's both in business and in private life.
It is.
So we have a perspective, a point of view we would like to share with you.
Oh, yeah.
And where we'll go to take a little warm up. And then we'll go into the theme, Rebooting My Ego. So that's what we'll do over the next 3/4 of an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Helene,
yeah,
would you be willing to have a look into my point of view that I use every day to improve my psychological flexibility?
I will, Anders. So I'll type in a yes. Oops,
All right.
You already typed in. So I will say, yes, I will.
There we go.
Oh.
You were out there. You said yes.
No, yeah. It worked.
You said yes. Thank you for that.
Yeah, yes and we're good to go.
That's it. And if you feel for it when you join, or not all people feel for it, but you can use a chat.
Yeah, you're welcome to chat.
And chime in with whatever you feel when we walk through this.
Okay.
So I'll just find my point of view and share it on the screen. And exciting stuff. So here we go. See if that's popping up.
Something's happening. Whoa. A matrix pops up.
A matrix, yeah. And if you look at this point of view, we'll see there's a vertical line and there's a horizontal line.
Yeah.
And on top of the top of the vertical line, we have the 5 senses. So that is what we can see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. And in the bottom here, we have the mind. That is what's going on inside of us, like thoughts, images inside of our heads, but also physiological pain. So we have this little guy here who has a toothache. And thoughts about that. So that's on the vertical line. Then we have the horizontal line. To the right, we have satisfaction, and to the left, we have relief. And we'll come back to that. So this is my point of view, Helene.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
You're so excited. And what is this for? We start here asking a question. And the first question is, who's important to me? And well, I would say my mom. She pops up inside of my head when I ask that question.
Yeah.
How about you?
I would say myself.
Yourself.
I'm important to me.
Myself is important to me.
And
Well, that's...
my mom is also important to me.
So we have two moms.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and I would say my kids.
Yeah, I think they're important too. And I would say my husband is important to me.
Your husband. Well, I would say my wife, and just to support that relationship.
To make sure everything is okay later on.
I would say our cats
Yeah.
as well. So
I was
let's
thinking about our cats.
Mhm.
We have 3 cats, so it's impossible to overlook them.
And even my mother-in-law.
And even your mother, my mother-in-law as well. Yeah.
Well, that's a nice list. And looking at that list, how does that make you feel, Helene?
Nice. Very good.
Nice.
Yeah, very
Good. So we go to the left.
Mhm.
The lower left corner here in the matrix is about yucky stuff.
Yeah.
Yucky stuff. So like fear.
Like
So
fear, yeah.
so if I just type in fear here.
Mhm.
So fear. Fear of what? Yeah, we can say we all have fear of something, but if I had a big lion chasing me, I would feel fear. And that's one feeling.
That could be one feeling, yeah. There could be anxiety.
Anxiety. Yeah.
Oh,
Shows up. What else shows up?
Tired.
Restlessness.
Restlessness. Tired.
Tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's showed up in you. And annoyance.
Annoyance.
Showed up in me. Yeah. Yeah. And also sunshine in my eyes.
Ah, yeah. So,
Sunshine
yes.
blinding us. Blinding sunshine.
Nice sunshine was blinding us.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, so that's a yucky stuff. And it could also be, you know, if your feet hurts, like actually my feet, they are a little sore. So feet hurts.
Feet hurts. Yeah.
That's going on inside of me.
Yeah.
Yucky stuff. Then we go to the upper left.
Mhm.
This is a warm-up. So just to
Yeah.
you get the feel for what the matrix is all about. So what behavior do we see to get away from the yucky stuff down here to get relief? And I would take fear. If I was hunted by a lion,
Mhm.
I would run.
Oh, so you put on your good running shoes and you run.
Fear of lion.
And said to the lion, wait a minute, I need to get my shoes on.
Yeah, my corporate shoes.
I don't think you'll
Not
run
my
them.
running shoes.
No.
I don't wear them. There they are.
So, and anxiety, well, I might go to the freezer and take an ice cream.
Eat
out.
ice cream.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you have got anxiety, you might, to get relief, you might eat some ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah. And restlessness. How can you see that I'm restless?
Oh, you usually wave, your feet are moving.
My feet are moving.
Yeah, up and down, up and down.
Feet are moving. Yeah. And my legs are shaking.
Yeah.
So feet moving and legs shaking. Here
Yeah.
we go. I'm trying to figure that one. So I'll just do like that. Legs shaking. So there you see my point of view. You can see what's going on inside and how that relates to my behavior.
Yeah.
You're tired?
I was tired.
What do you do then?
I saw myself, put my head in my arms and lying my head on the table and just having a quick, what do you call it? A
Power nap.
power nap. Yep.
Power napping when you're tired.
Power napping. So because my eyes were getting my eyelids were getting heavy.
Yeah, and I even saw you yawn.
Oh yeah.
So
Did I
you
yawn?
Yawn, yeah, Gabe in Danish. You yawned. Yeah, you were tired.
Yeah.
I could see that from my point of view. And annoyance. Well, I get a little short, direct in my speech.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And when I get annoyed, when things don't go my way. And
blinding sunshine. What did we see you do on this?
I hang some flip chart papers.
Oh yes, you did.
On the windows. Now we have a better light here. We love the sun in Denmark where we
love
are,
the
but
sun.
honestly, the sun was too much to make this crowdcast work. So
Yeah.
blinding
And
sunshine.
we could have done it with sunglasses on.
Yeah,
And a
that
cat.
would be looking like I had my sunshines here. So
Yeah.
you could do like this.
You could do
How
like
about
that.
that?
Yeah. Whoa.
Then I cannot read. Okay, so feet hurts. Well, I'm changing position.
Yes, you're moving around.
So you can see when feet hurts.
Yes.
So this is, and when I do this, that's a kind of a relief. So this is what we call a relief move.
A relief move, yeah. Moving from one foot to another.
So fear of a lion, we run. That's a relief move. We didn't get eaten, and so on.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the warm up for that part. Now we have the last part of the matrix, and that's up here to the upper right. What are the behaviors we see ourselves do to approach people who are important to me? What do? I talk to my mom.
Yeah, me too. With my mom, so.
Yeah, so we have a link there.
Yes.
And what else? Myself? You talk to yourself?
I do that a lot, and you know that.
Yeah, actually you do. So that's funny.
Yeah. So I have to sometimes stop myself.
Yeah. What else? I did the meditation and gym.
Today I didn't do any of these, but yesterday I did. I think I did some
yoga.
Some yoga. I think some yoga and some.
I saw you do
exercise.
yoga.
Was it yoga yesterday? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I try to every second day yoga and every second day some exercise.
Yeah.
Some cardio. And I talk to my children.
Yeah.
Laugh with my children.
Talk and laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. They're at home right now, so there's a lot of talk and laugh going on. That's nice.
And kiss my husband.
You do?
Talk with my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Then I just do a talk here. Talk to.
Yeah.
And then husband. And I would support that. I talk to my wife as well.
Do you also kiss your wife, or is it?
I don't kiss my wife. Yeah, I kiss my wife. Yes, I do. My ego kisses my wife.
Your ego is kissing your wife.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So husband.
And so the cats, talk to the cats, feed the cats, might even pet the cats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't kiss the cats.
No,
you pet the cats and feed.
You get so many furs in your mouth. No, that's not nice.
That's not nice.
And
yeah. Mother-in-law, well, I talked to her, and this evening there's a lot of laugh here going on at the dinner table. There you go.
Yeah, we're talking about ice cream half eaten and then all disappeared.
Yeah, I suddenly disappeared.
Yeah, that's
who ate that ice cream?
We don't know. Oh.
No. Okay, so this is the point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And to make it a point of view, I would put here in the middle, notice.
Yeah.
So have a look at this. Would it be possible for us in the next week or so, or just a couple of days, to notice who is showing up inside of us that are important to us or to me? You can decide yourself and notice what yucky stuff shows up.
Oh. Yeah.
And what we do to get away from that yucky stuff, and what behaviors we do that gives us relief.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and what behavior we do to approach the people who are important to us to get that satisfaction.
I will put in a yes, or just say yes, because I've already put in a yes, and then this crowdcast will take another yes.
I can say yes for my part, yes.
Super.
There you go. So that was the me loop.
Yeah.
About me and you, me.
You, me, you.
So this helps me up my psychological flexibility to see how things link.
Mm-hmm.
Now we up the game a little. This is still warm up before we go to the ego. So we could think about where is the ego in all this.
Mm-hmm.
So I move here to the next one, and that's the we loop.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. We have the 5 senses in the top, the mind in the bottom. We have satisfaction moves to the right and relief moves to the left.
Yeah.
And the question now changes because we're in a we context, a social context. So what is our shared purpose? Why are we here today? Why do we show up?
Why do we show up? Because to us, it's important with peace in the world, and it starts with peace in yourself.
So world peace, and we achieve world peace through peace.
Inner peace, or peace.
Inner peace. Yeah. That's why we're here. We think this making people more psychological flexible will help world peace. So showing you this point of view, we hope that will help the world get a more peaceful place.
Show the 2 loops.
Show the 2 loops. Yeah, show the 2 loops.
And then, as you said before, share
our point of view. And our point of view today, the theme is, rebooting our ego.
Rebooting my
So
ego.
we want to share our point of view about rebooting. Reboot, but rebooting.
And don't try to reboot others' ego. Just try rebooting your own ego.
Rebooting my ego. That's why we're here, to share that point of view and how that might help world peace and maybe give you some inspiration.
Yeah.
Inspire. Boom. So that's what we're here to do. And if we succeed in doing that, that will be very satisfactory. Okay, we go to the left. And now we go into a social context. So therefore, yogi stuff is not only for my yogi stuff, it's the yogi stuff when you're more than one person in the room.
Yeah.
And you're interacting, and the social yogi stuff. What shows up when you're 2 or more in the room? We can take in the workplace, we can take at home with big egos.
With the big egos.
The big egos, what yogi stuff shows up when you are more people in the room?
Oh, that could be, why does everybody talk so much?
Why does they talk so much? Yeah, and I would say anger. And I would also say jealousy might show up.
What about that one? Where you pretend to be someone you're not.
Oh, imposter syndrome.
There we go.
Imposter syndrome. Yeah. They will find out I cannot do anything.
No.
I'm just an imposter. So telling myself that they will find out I can do nothing. I haven't a clue of what I'm doing here. Yeah. So jealousy. What else could show up? Boredom.
Oh yeah, boredom. Yeah. Or as someone said once, why am I surrounded by idiots?
Yeah. Why am I surrounded by idiots? Yeah. Idiots. There we go.
Yeah. Well, that must be very unpleasant.
That was the voice inside of the head.
Oh, yeah.
And I would say also this one shows up in some people that we coach. Am I good enough?
Oh yeah, am I good enough? Do I know what they are talking about?
Am I good enough? Or what do you say?
Do I know anything about what they are talking about? Do I know what they are talking
about? Do I get
about?
it?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Do I understand?
I understand absolutely nothing.
Boom, yeah.
Yeah.
So
good list.
Social yoga stuff in social context. What shows up inside of us? People working together. It might even being just have this frustration. Or
oh yeah, so many social yoga stuff. Oh yeah.
And I would say also this burnout. I feel burnout. I'm just exhausted. Exhaustion. Yeah. You cannot see that necessarily on people,
No.
but that's going on inside of people. Yeah.
That could be social yoga stuff. Oh, I feel a conflict coming up.
A conflict. Oh, anger, conflict. Yes. Oh no. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a very long and very good list.
And when big egos are together,
Ooh.
for sure, this one can grow and get big.
It can be very big, yeah.
And then you want to get relief from that. So what do we see people do to get relief? What behaviors, social behaviors in a social setting? What's happening?
So you might disappear.
So when people talk too much, you might just disappear. Disappear, yeah. Like that.
I could disappear just by still being in the room.
Zone out.
Yep.
Zone out. Yeah. Disengage.
Yeah. Or I could physically get up and go out and get a cup of tea.
Go for a cup of tea.
Or a good piece of cake.
Tea, cake. Yeah, disappear when people talk too much.
And that one with the imposter syndrome, I could do a lot of things, but one thing could be change the subject if I didn't know anything about what we're talking about.
Okay, change subject. Yeah.
Or I could talk very much, just to try to sound as if I know a lot about.
Talk much. Yeah. Yeah, that was about talk much and imposter syndrome. Yeah, there's a link there. So what I do now, I just link the inner yogi stuff, social yogi stuff, to what behaviors we see do. To get that perspective, we don't always do that. So anger and conflict coming up. What do we do then? What can I see you do when anger and conflict is coming up inside of you?
You are the one with the anger. So what do you do?
Well, I might get a suspicious look. I'll get to him. I get a suspicious look, with you wrink your your forehead here, right?
Yeah.
Wrinkles in the forehead.
Wrinkles in the forehead.
Wrinkles, yeah.
And you get not a stiff eye, but you will look with the
direct stare.
Yeah, direct stare.
Angry stare. Yeah. And I might even roll my eyebrows.
You might even roll your eyebrows. I think they are idiots and morons.
Morons, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And if I sense a conflict coming up, I might disappear, zone out, or go somewhere else.
So you disappear, yeah.
Yeah. Wait for the storm to storm out.
Yeah. And boredom.
Pick your nose.
Pick your nose. Yeah, why not?
Check your phone.
I check your phone. That's a good one. That's a big one. Check phone under the table, right?
Yeah.
Check phone, yeah.
Or where I used to work, everybody used to bring their computers, so you didn't know if they were in the meeting or they were answering mails or doing working at the same time as they were in the meeting. Yeah.
Interesting. So looking at this, we also have frustration down here. When you're frustrated, what do you do then? I might attack, verbally attack.
Yeah.
Oh, so here we go. Verbally attack the other.
Yeah.
Frustration, that escalates the defend attack spiral, right? And then, am I good enough?
Am I good enough? Well, I might go buy another book, or I might ask my boss if I can get another class for something. I think.
Course, another course.
Another course. Yeah, I think that's important before I can go out and do anything that I'm asked.
So another program, another course.
Yeah.
And burnout, and I would say burnout would be fall asleep on the desk in the office.
That could be that, yeah. get a headache.
Get a headache. Yeah, that's inside. So
And then you
burnout,
go have some headache pills, some
aspirins, and
or
yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
headache
Or you
inside.
have to go home and lay down.
Yeah, you go home. You get sick.
Yep, you might get sick. Yep.
Yeah, you leave. You leave. Sick leave.
A sick leave.
What is sick leave? I have to go for a sick leave. Headache and sick leave. We have that a lot around companies in the world. Exhaustion, that's the same part. You could even go and get a depression.
Oh yeah,
So exhaustion and burnout could lead to depression
it could. Yep.
inside. Yeah. Do I understand this? Buy another book.
Yeah.
Take another course. Well, there's a lot of social yucky stuff going on here. There's a lot of behavior that links to that yucky stuff. And there's a lot of ego going on.
Oh yeah.
And all this mess is happening. And that is then taking us to the upper right. And here, the upper right, the question is, what behaviors do we now see to get us towards our shared purpose? So world peace, inner peace, to rebooting our egos. How do we do that? How do we simply reboot all that yucky stuff?
Yeah. We the two of us show up here
We show up
and do the 2 loops.
and do the 2 loops for flexing up our psycho. See if I can spell this right. Flexibility. What that does actually mean that we take this point of view, and by taking this point of view, we can see all the yucky stuff because we notice it. We can see all the behaviors we do, and that makes us more flexible to say, well, does this work or not? So and inspire you to try and do the 2 loops. Now you join us doing the 2 loops and see how that point of view will help you.
And we use respectful communication.
Definitely. Respectful. I would add kind communication.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we listen to one another.
We listen carefully, listen.
Listen to learn, to understand.
Yeah. And that will, do you think that will help us get towards more peace in the world and also inner peace, that we listen?
Yeah. You can add some arrows there.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
That's a good list. Nice matrix.
And just share our point of view. Here we go.
Here we go.
Inspired, share a point there, and rebooting my ego. How does this help reboot my ego? Yes, taking the perspective. We'll get back into more of this. So practice this skill. And what is the skill we actually practice now? And that's when we go to the center here. We practice the skill of noticing. So now my question is to you and the listeners here who follows this and see it now and see the replay. Might we, over the next days or weeks or so, start noticing what we do about what shows up about our shared purpose, and notice what yucky stuff, social yucky stuff, shows up in social settings, and what we do, noticing what behavior links to that, to get away from the yucky stuff, social yucky stuff, to get relief. Might we also notice what behaviors we do to get towards our shared purpose?
Oh yeah. Yes, I will say yes.
You will say yes.
Yes.
So I will just draw the red line. So that's the skill we train to up our psychological flexibility.
It is.
Observe ourselves from this point of view, noticing all this stuff, and see how we learn from that.
Yeah.
We learn a lot about ourselves when doing this, you and I.
Yeah.
And
every
we also
single
are,
time we do the loops, we learn something new.
yeah, and when we do the clients as well,
Yeah.
they learn a lot about themselves, and we
Yeah.
learn about them to
Mhm.
make them help flex up.
And what about that ego?
What about that ego? Yeah. So we go here and let's just look at the loop here and the theme. Just write the theme here.
Mhm.
So what is actually rebooting my ego all about?
Rebooting my ego.
So first of all, I would like to ask you, Helene,
Mhm.
what is the ego about? What are the things, and where is the ego? Is that outside, on top of the matrix, or is it on the bottom?
Oh, it's in the bottom. So it's what goes on inside your mind. That could be your beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So if I put the ego down here, would that be okay?
let's try and see what happens. Yes, you do that.
Ego down here, and then you say the ego is about beliefs.
Yeah, your beliefs.
Yeah.
And your judgment, how you judge yourself and how you judge other.
The ego judges.
Yeah, and it's about values, my values,
About your values. Yeah.
and then I have a strategy. I have an ego strategy.
You have an ego strategy. So
How
the ego
to-
has a strategy.
How I can survive in this world.
So survival strategies.
Yeah, how I can be who I think who my ego think I have to be in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a nice one. So where do we typically see our ego showing up? And we have here about our shared purpose, the values.
Yeah.
We have values showing up. What is really valuable to us? See if I can point it in values. So that's something we like, isn't it? We have some values.
We have some values, yeah.
But what is showing up typically of social yucky stuff when we meet our ego? What is our ego telling us inside?
Oh, it could be telling us a lot of things. For example, shame could be something.
Shame on you and Helene.
Yeah, shame on myself. Yeah, how could I? And again, judgment. We said that one before.
Judgment. You are so stupid. The inner voice telling yourself that.
How could you?
How could you?
Be guilt.
Guilt.
Oh yeah.
What's the voice of guilt?
What's the voice of guilt?
The ego.
That could be I'm not good enough. I have to work harder. Guilt that I didn't succeed. Guilt that I didn't help. Guilt that this wasn't perfect enough. This wasn't what it was supposed to be. Lots of guilt. And the ego could also be something about comparing me with anybody else that I meet. They are better looking, they are more clever, they are more successful, they are so unique, they know everything.
So that's the voice inside of us comparing. That's the ego.
Of us, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it could also be fear. Have we used fear? Maybe we have been using fear.
No. Fear of what?
That would be everything. That could be fear of missing out. That's the FOMO thing. If I have to experience everything possible here in life and move on to the next thing.
And if I don't, if I miss out.
Yeah, if I miss out, that's not good.
That's not that. What's the feeling of missing out?
What could be the feeling of missing out? That I didn't get that experience with me.
Loss. A loss. I get lost from not having had that experience. Yeah.
And the fear of, for example, staying in the same workplace for decades because I know what I have when I'm in this job, but I do not know what I will get if I take another job. So even though I might not be completely satisfied, I'll stay here. That could be the same with
So inside you're not satisfied,
might not be satisfied. Yeah,
but don't dare.
that could be fear of making disturbance,
And fear of wrong decisions.
and fear of wrong decisions, fear of showing that I'm vulnerable. So much about fear.
Fear of showing vulnerability.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in here.
Oh, yeah.
Vulnerability.
And that could be anxiety. That could be doubt.
So that's the ego telling us all this.
The ego wants us to stay on our strategy, our ego strategy. So, so when we are under great pressure, that could be work, that could be something private, could be someone was died or was taken ill or you've hurt yourself, so lost your job, or you just have so much to do.
Big changes
in your job.
Big changes in the job.
That could be it, or
in the world.
There are some, yeah. Oh yeah. People who, you can say, whoa, everything is bad in the world, war everywhere, and
I lost my job. I lost
my job. So how do I pay the bills? Yeah. So the ego has a strategy.
Take on too much.
Could take on too much. Yeah.
Yeah. You could also have tired, or here down here.
Oh yeah.
But that's a more physical. When I'm tired, then the ego tells me, well, you better get up because you have to, so you don't lose your job.
Oh yeah.
So fear of losing your job might also be here as a driver.
Yeah.
Fear of losing job.
Mm-hmm.
Losing job. Yeah.
So many things that goes on down there. So so this is a lot of stuff that we might not notice because this is autopilot. So we do what we usually do, and
what is it we do?
Yeah, what do we do?
So fear of missing out.
Yeah.
What do we do to not miss out?
So what do we do to not miss out? Yeah, we make sure that if it was a buffet, we would make sure to taste everything on the buffet.
Taste everything.
And if you try to picture that, to taste everything on a buffet, I guess you wouldn't taste anything at all because you
get overweight.
That too.
Or you definitely get what do you call that? Full.
You'll get full, but you wouldn't really enjoy the taste of the food.
No. Not satisfied, but dare go for the wrong decision because you don't dare do wrong decisions, so you stay in the job.
Yep. So you ever heard of the last man standing on the ship? You know, the ship goes down and the captain stays.
Yeah.
But you could also not be the boss in the company, but an employed. But you will be there as a loyal employee. So you will stay even though you can see everybody else leave and find another job, for example.
And anxiety. Just to take that one.
And anxiety,
when you're anxious to losing your job, then you work like crazy, maybe.
Yeah, you're afraid to lose your wife, husband, or your loved one.
What do you do then?
Yeah, that would be the same.
Work like crazy?
Oh, no, work like crazy, but stay in the feeling that we should have been together. If you have been broken up many years ago, you might meet an ego that brings you back to this feeling when he or she or it or Mr. or Mrs. left. So you might get back to that feeling. So your ego makes you feel or that this feeling is you. So you live it. Have you ever met people that might be 5, 10, 15 years ago that they broke up with someone, they lost someone, but still they talk about it as if it was yesterday it happened.
Yeah, so they broke up years ago?
Yeah, or they lost someone.
Or lost someone?
And we all know that we can all relate and go back into a feeling, and we can relive it, and we can get out, you step out of that feeling again and say, yeah, that was not nice. For example, when your father died, you could, if you wanted to, get back into that feeling, but you do not stay in that feeling. You
But if I suddenly I get anxious of other people, in my present relationship, you have the anxiousness inside because you fear of breaking up with your relationship now, or you lose someone more, or your kids fear if they will do things that's not helpful for them. So you have that anxiety inside of you. But that's a kind of the ego telling you that. There's a lot of thoughts in there.
Lots of thoughts, yeah.
Okay, so a lot of yogi stuff, and the ego is keeping us in that yogi stuff because we have strategies. We have ego strategies that will tell us what to do when we are getting out of balance with our core values.
Yeah, and we have this super ego. So if you try to do something else,
do something wrong.
No, just do something else than what your ego wants you to do. You have a super ego that will come and tell you, oh, this is not good, and scare you. And that super ego, they say, is having an age between 0 and 7 years old. That means that is a children's strategy.
So when I'm in situations where I'm out of line with my strategy, if I get under pressure, I will use those strategies. And if I don't follow those strategies, I'll be pushed by my super ego to keep on doing my strategy.
Oh yeah, I guess you could put it into this the comfort zone and the discomfort zone and the panic zone. You know, so the ego and the super ego wants you to stay in the comfort zone where you good to go, and you might have a strategy that doesn't work. That could be this strategy that I'm surrounded by morons, idiots.
Oh, there they were.
Yeah, everywhere I go, every single day. So that's your ego saying that nothing's wrong with you. But if you start questioning, could that be something about me? Yeah, the ego would say, oh, you better move on because you're better than the rest. You know more than they do. You have everything under control. Could be someone at work. So the co-workers don't like to come to you because you always lecture them. Might be an ego strategy. I know more than you do. I keep my knowledge to myself, and if I think I can trust you, I might let you know a little bit of what I know. But that is my way to keep safe.
It seems like the ego is restricting us.
Yeah.
It seems like our basic fears down here, the social yoga stuff, we have fear of something. We have fear of leaving our strategy. And by this, what we do to get away from those basic fears, that's what the ego strategies are really about. So you use those strategies, and that might be the behaviors we see up here. Take too much on, you are fear of losing a job, and then you lost a job, and all those things going together. What can we do then to get out of that ego ego zone? Because it seems like it's just a belief. It seems that it might not be real. What alternatives?
Yeah, what might we be able to do?
If
Yeah,
we
we
say
might.
here rebooting the ego, that was
That was what we wanted to see. Is it possible to reboot my ego, and how to do it without waking up the super ego? And so, what possible small step can you do or take that won't bring you out of your that will bring you into the discomfort zone, but not that much so that the superego wakes up and say, "Hey, what are you doing?"
So trying new things that is not within your ego strategy. How can I do that in small steps?
Yeah, but if you are not aware of your ego, and if you think everything is fine and it's everybody around you that needs to change, then you won't be doing this. Then you won't be feeling the need for it. But if you have figure out that from time to time your ego is not your best friend because the same thing happens over and over again, it might be interesting to look at what small steps could be a benefit for you to do something different.
So do something different in small steps.
And small steps.
Yeah. That gives you satisfaction, because looking at this, all the ego does is here from, I've just learned that, what the ego strategies do and the execution and the things we do is simply relief moves.
Lots of relief.
And that's okay. That's okay.
Oh, it's very okay.
However, I don't get much satisfaction from those moves, it seems. So what I would suggest here is we go into the middle again and notice.
Let's notice.
So
it's so good to notice.
So the tool here is the first step. I would say notice the social yucky stuff and where it comes from. On which on whose behalf does these strategies come? Is it really me, or is it my ego? And who am I really?
That's a big question.
Yeah. So, but noticing is about slowing down and stopping up and asking yourself, "Is this me inside?
What is this really
me?
all about?" And this question could also be, is this true?
Is this true? We can ask ourselves that inside. So
if my ego, this is an example, tells me that I have to be in peace and in harmony inside myself and with the people close to me. And
that's your strategy.
If we were saying that was my strategy, I could ask myself, but is that true that I have to keep quiet, that my voice is not interesting to hear? Or is it just something that my ego would like me to do so that I can make sure that there is harmony and everything is peaceful around me and inside of me?
Yeah, so keep quiet and be peaceful. That's your ego saying that maybe.
That could be an ego saying that. Or if I'm not perfect, if I don't do things perfectly, make sure that everybody around me do things the right way.
Another strategy.
Yeah, that could be another strategy. I am the one who has to tell everybody how things should be done, because there is only one right way, and that is my way. So that's quite a burden.
Again, the ego telling you based on beliefs that you have learned throughout life, and who your ego tells you are, the identity you have built, having that inner dialogue with your ego. Yeah. So you say, "Is it me? Who am I really?" We are indicating here that, well, we are not all these thoughts. These thoughts come and go. That's not us. We do behaviors based on the ego's strategies and ego's messages and keeping our within the strategy. But what can we do instead that is not controlled by the ego? That's about rebooting the ego. So like we do with the computer, Alt, Control, Delete, could we do that? Or could we, by noticing
Yeah.
Now the program of the ego simply derails us into an old habit. Does that habit work? Not really. It gives me relief. So, well, it works, but there's another way also. It's not that relief moves are bad. It's just that might there be steps and behaviors that will give me satisfaction without my ego interfering?
Yeah. And that is the small steps that each one of us could look into and see what could work.
So when someone in the job is coming to you and say, "You stupid fool, you stupid fool,
Imbecile.
you imbecile," what would you do now, knowing this? You get that from your five senses. You're bombarded by stupid people. What do you do then to not let your ego take over?
If someone says that I'm stupid,
Yes, what will you do?
so now I will be curious and ask the person who said that I'm stupid, ask questions to understand. So that will be me having a respectful communication with another person, no matter what I've been accused of being stupid or not. And then listen and try to understand from what perspective this comes from.
Yeah, so listen.
So that means I will not take it personally, but I will try to understand the context of this outburst.
And when you say not taking it personal, who is taking it personal?
Yeah, the ego is taking it personally.
So, okay, so let's put it up here. You stupid fool.
Yeah.
That's the attack you get. And then you say,
yeah.
well, you ask questions. Instead of going to the ego and becoming angry and judgmental, you stay cool.
Or go under the radar and say, oh, that was an angry man or woman. I'll just stay here and say nothing and wait till they have left the room.
So,
or I could get I don't, not the word sad, but I could get hurt if I was told that I was a fool, because if it's a job, I've been doing everything to make it perfect. I've been working all week because my boss told me Friday afternoon, could you just take a look at this? And to me, a look, that means many hours of work, because I have to make it absolutely perfect. And now he says I'm a stupid fool.
Yeah, and now this is your ego would say that's not true, and you say you're a stupid fool too, and you'll get in the angry loops over here.
Other egos will
or
do
you
that.
Would bug it.
Yeah, some egos will take a fight, and you will see two people what do you call it?
Shouting at
Shout.
one.
Yeah, there it was. Shout at
But
one
here you
another.
say the strategy you would use to reboot the ego or to avoid the ego, you would simply stay calm. So you stay calm, first of all, listening, but you would also notice, you'd go down here and notice and stay calm.
And the question again that you wrote down in the lower right is it true?
Is it true? I'm a fool. And then you can say, is it true? No.
And should some of the
I'm not a fool.
Should some of the ego thoughts appear pop up in my head, I could ask them also, but is it true? It's a good question.
Yeah, is it true? Yeah. And then answer, no, I'm not a fool.
And you can answer as
I'm okay.
Yeah, instead
I'm me.
of something. Yeah.
And then you go up from here, and then you ask questions, and then you stay respectful in your communication, and you listen.
And be nice and kind to your ego. Don't.
How do you do that?
Well, when you notice your ego strategies, when you begin to notice what your ego strategy is, just give it lots of love and accept when you're moving with 200 miles an hour with your ego
And
strategy.
where would you do that? You accept, so you notice and accept. So
you notice and accept. Yeah, I don't know where you put it.
well, I can put it here.
Okay, you put it there.
Accept and be kind to your ego.
And you have to, because the ego is a part of you. So
Yeah.
you can't get rid of it, but you can get to notice how much it fills.
You put it to bed.
How big it is.
How big it can.
How much it rules your life. You can get to notice that, and you can get in charge and say, when is it a good thing that my ego is telling me what to do?
So what you say, you can actually just like a balloon, you can come up with the needle, and you can poof. The ego can just, like a balloon, explode, and then it's gone.
I don't think that's possible, but you can be aware of your ego. I have an ego telling me when I'm out surrounded by lots of people that it would be so nice if I could just leave and go home. I know today that is my ego saying, let's have it peaceful and quietly, and this is really taking all my energy being together with all these people. And I know now that how to be together with a lot of people and have fun and not feeling drained, but my ego is still there. But so now I notice it, and I don't go with my ego. I just, in a loving way, says, oh, there you are, telling me that same old story, but now I know how to handle it. Other times it doesn't work. Then I have to...
Oh, there you are.
Oh, there you are.
Again.
Hello.
So that's your ego showing up inside of you.
Yeah.
So if we should...
What about your ego, Anders?
Well, it shows up all the time.
All the time, yeah.
So, but I know that I would say noticing has helped me notice that the ego shows up. The programs, there's some concept, or there's some strategies. I say this word ego strategies. I know my ego strategies well now, so I can simply stop and say, well, do I want the ego to run my basic strategy? My basic fear when I'm attacked, and my basic fear is telling me, well, you ought to do this. Well, then I can stop and say, well, I don't need to do my strategy, and then I can let go of the basic fear showing up. I can let go of the strategy, ego strategy. So I would say to reboot my ego is about letting go of the basic fears, ego strategies, consciously.
Yeah. Nice one.
So that is consciously. So that's a way, a strategy of getting more satisfaction in life.
Yep.
And well, will it work? We'll find out. Because we do this a lot, we get better and better.
We start noticing, and
by noticing
what goes on inside of us.
Noticing ego survival
and by
strategies.
Noticing what our behavior is.
And then the question, we have 2 minutes left here. The question is, who am I really?
1 minute, more or less. Yeah. Who am I really? Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not the ego. And that's a kind of wake-up call for many people. Well, actually, the ego is all that yucky stuff to the left, some strategies trying to keep me alive. That's okay. But there's alternatives. There's another way of making your life work that might give you more satisfaction and more noticing what works well for you, and more what you would do less of. Maybe I would go for more satisfaction moves and less relief moves, because my ego is triggering my relief moves. And if I'm myself and not driven by my ego, well, that's maybe a better feeling.
Might be, yeah.
There you go. Stop sharing.
Yeah.
That was 1 hour. Hope you enjoyed this. The ones of you who turn up also to watch the replay.
Yeah.
I learned something here. I think we always do.
We always learn something. Yeah.
So
Have a nice evening.
Yeah, or morning,
or
wherever you
morning.
come from.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to follow us, click the button over there. And next time we do the English one is by end each month. We come up with the topic and then we go for that.
Might not do one in July if we're on holiday. You think so?
I think so.
You think so?
It's
Okay.
fun. This is fun.
Yeah.
So going to follow us down there, you can push the green button. And if you go for coaching, and Helene and I can help you on coaching sessions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how about that?
How about that?
Enjoy.
Yeah.